Simon Marks joins us, LBC's US correspondent. He's obviously in Washington, D.C. Simon, good to have you on again. What's your reaction to what we've just witnessed?
Well, I thought it was extraordinary and historic. And I mean, the biggest takeaway is clearly that Donald Trump now seems to be very serious about negotiating a trade deal with the UK. And who saw that coming? Because
Natasha Clark.
Up until now, apart from Dame Natasha, up until now, I mean, the trade deal has been dead. I mean, it was completely dead and buried during the Biden administration, with no prospect of negotiating it through the White House or even thinking about getting it passed by Congress. Remember that any trade deal between the US and the UK faces two hurdles. First of all, it's got to have the backing of the president, and then the president has to find a way of steering it through Congress. And I think what Keir Starmer has established here today is that the political changes in Washington, D.C., with a Republican president who speaks the language of deals, not often the language, it has to be said, of free trade, but who clearly sees his relationship with the UK as being deeply distinct from his relationship with the European Union, which only yesterday, in very colourful language, Donald Trump claimed had been created basically to con the United States and to diminish it. Well, he didn't use any of that language today to describe the UK. And into that kind of breach, the Prime Minister clearly has leapt today, arguing not only against any kind of punitive tariffs being imposed against the UK, pointing out to the president that there's a trade surplus that the United States can bask in with the UK, and now pushing Donald Trump into accepting that very quickly, he said, a possible trade deal between Washington, D.C. and London could be negotiated. That is a very big win. I mean, the other aspects that stuck out to me from the press conference was it seemed almost as though the Prime Minister and his sort of image makers may have sat down and looked at a word cloud of all of Donald Trump's favourite words: winning, deal, golf, unprecedented, historic. And the Prime Minister kept time and time again coming back to those anchor words and using them in a way that I think was designed to flatter President Trump. And flattery with Donald Trump is vitally important. This is a man who wants to be flattered, and certainly by referring again and again to the King's historic, unprecedented invitation to President Trump to make a second state visit. Never happened before. We've never seen anything like it before. I mean, that's the language that Donald Trump responds to. And I think that it's evident that they established a very warm and successful working relationship over the course of the last, 4 hours or so since Keir Starmer walked into the White House. The question is, can it be maintained after Sir Keir Starmer gets on that plane tonight and flies back to London, having avoided every opportunity to try and, by the press, the members of the press there, who tried to drive a wedge between him and his host, having managed to navigate all of that? What's he going to do the next time Donald Trump calls Volodymyr Zelensky a dictator, or expresses sympathy towards Vladimir Putin, or insists that the quest for a two-state solution in the Middle East is absolutely finished? There is a high level of downside risk here that much of that bonhomie and success evaporates. But let's not prejudge it, because who thought we were going to be here by the end of the afternoon?
Well, indeed so. Simon, thank you very much indeed. Well,